have Congresswoman Eshoo. The Congresswoman has been an absolute leader on tech issues from day one. I feel like there are zero people in here that haven't either met or been thankful that she was here in some way. She was the co-lead of the NAIR Task Force Act, and she's just been really involved in this. Put some great RFI comments in, which we're excited to release shortly. And Ms. Eshoo, please come on up here.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
A
little disoriented. I'm used to coming into these pieces of property. One of them is owned, I think, by Oracle. I think Jerry and I have been there at least 100 times, right? And former colleague, now the governor of Colorado, Jerry Polis, owned one of these buildings. It was his home. But as I was looking, I thought, isn't it something? I never realized that the property was so wide. Well, two properties were merged. So bravo to CTA. These are really nice. This is a wonderful setting. And it's great to be with you. It's really wonderful to be with you. This is one of the first times, I don't know about you, Jerry, this is one of the first times that I've been, well, we're but leaving the Capitol and going out and being with a group of people. So it's special. I want to thank Austin Carson for inviting me. He's the one that invited me. That's why I'm here. I looked at the invitation. I thought, this sounds very good to me. I'd love to join you, and I'm here. Now, much of the discussion today is about national AI research. And the resource task force. That was my legislation that established it with Senator Rob Portman. So we partnered on it. You don't very often hear about bipartisan, bicameral. It actually does happen. You don't see very much coverage of it, but I'm really pleased to work with him. And I just want to tell you just very briefly the story of how we got here. Now, suffice it to say that, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, that AI is critical for the future of our national security, our economy, our society. And that's pretty expansive. That just about covers all the bases, I think. AI R&D has three ingredients. It's data, it's computing power, and it's people. While this sounds very simple, you know better. Because very few organizations really have sufficiently large data sets, powerful enough computing capacity, and people with a deep enough expertise to conduct meaningful AI research. So to deal with this, there were many that really were discussing the idea of pooling resources for AI R&D, but there wasn't an agreement on the details, and that's where all the hard work takes place when you have to get into the details, such as where the resources should be housed, what role federal agencies should play, how privacy and human rights should be protected. These are huge issues. Each one on its own is a huge undertaking. So after hearing from Stanford University and working with Stanford is the geographic center of my congressional district. Great honor to represent it. And the National Security Commission on AI. That's when Senator Portman and I drafted legislation to establish a task force of leading AI experts from government, from academia, and from industry to develop a roadmap for what we called the National AI Research Resource, or NAIR. You always have to have abbreviations, and that becomes a whole nother language around here, right? We worked hard to see that that we would enact the legislation, that it would become law. And at the end of the last Congress, it did. So we were really very pleased. And a little bit unusual. Most legislation that's introduced in the Congress is not enacted in a two-year session of Congress. There are about 25,000 bills that are introduced in each Congress, 25,000. Less than 200, including our nation's budget, are actually signed into law. So we're pretty proud of getting this over the finish line. The goal of NAIR is to democratize access to the ingredients for AI research, the data, the compute power, and the expertise. And by doing this, I think that NAIR will enable countless American researchers and innovators to develop AI tools to bolster our national security, which is, when you're a member of Congress, that is the top line responsibility we have to protect our nation. I spent almost a decade on the House Intelligence Committee. So it's to develop tools to bolster our national security, enhance our economic competitiveness, and improve society in countless ways. I think, as I mention these things, I think of the combination of what I just stated as the American way. So this is a very, I believe, a very exciting threshold that we're on. And hopefully, and I do have confidence in this, that NAIR will more than realize the words that were printed in the legislation, and that they will soar, and S-O-A-R. Okay, and I know that the chairwoman of the task force is here. It's really wonderful to see you. Bravo to you. Bravo to you for your leadership, and we all are excited about what the future holds. So those are my comments in a nutshell. It's great to be with you. I have to tell you, as soon as I walked in the door downstairs, you could feel the energy. So there's a lot of excitement and talent here. It's great to be with my friends, the CTA folks that I've worked with. I don't want to count the years, but it's been good. It's been great. We've gotten a lot of great things done. So I understand that there's one question that I'm to take.
Anybody have one quick question? Or we can move on.
Question or comment? Okay. Right, everyone stay healthy. We need you. All right? And I also want to add this. You know, we're going through a time, well, first of all, the pandemic has upended everyone's life in some way, shape, or form. If someone said to each one of us, this is what's going to happen, this is what you're going to have to do, you'd say, no, we can't do that, or that it could never happen. Well, it did, and it is, and we are a resilient people. We are a resilient people. And it's part of the genius of America that brought these vaccinations forward. We now take it for granted, you know, but that is the genius of America. And so our capacity is so great to do great things. And I think that you obviously are all part of that. Now, the American people are being subjected to a sausage being made. And it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. But and there are a lot of sophistication amongst you here. You understand how this place works, the push and the pull, the yin and the yang of negotiations. You know, I've always thought that the oxygen of democracy is consensus. And that's what we're trying to reach. It's within one party, unfortunately, but wherever it is, these things have to be worked out for the greatness and the goodness of our incredible country. So keep the faith, everybody. Just as you have the faith in AI, have faith in the overall, all right? Thank you, everyone. It was great to be with you. Great to be with you.